Just go with whatever.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Let me see.
We are last minute planning December's book.
Yeah. I love how last year we literally had our picks set out like 6 months in advance. And this year it's like 2 minutes before, 2 minutes after the live show started.
know.
Like, oh, let's figure this out.
I know. So funny.
Okay, I can see us.
All right. If you're here, hop on and say hi. It's like our second to last SMUT club.
I know. I'm sad. I don't want to be done.
I know.
Yeah.
All right. So, talking Gratify. What up, cool gamer?
Hello.
Talking Gratify by Katelyn Taylor. Was this book what you thought it was going to be, or were you like expecting something different?
It was what I thought it was going to be. However, I did feel like there was a shift in Atlas in the book that I was not expecting. He went very much from being like sweet godfather type figure and like very sweet and like comforting to being like, I'm gonna cut my enemies open and bang you in their blood. And it was very much like, oh, okay. So that I was not expecting. But yeah.
Okay, so what'd you end up rating it?
I ended up rating it 4 stars.
4 stars. Okay.
Yeah. What you gave it 5. Like it's like a new fave of yours, isn't it?
Yeah. On it, and like do I think like if I were to actually dissect it and analyze it a little more, I obviously it's not a 5-star read, but like I enjoyed it so much that it was a 5-star to me. Just
that's what matters at the end of the day, you know.
Yeah, I thought it was very easy to read. Like her writing is very quick.
Yeah, and the story moved fast, like pretty fast paced, which I liked.
Okay, so what did you like and not like?
I really liked the parents' car accident and like the grief afterwards, and just what was her name? Andromeda. Is that how you say it?
So strange, right?
Whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. And it's been a while since I've read it, so I don't remember exactly how to say it.
They nicknamed her Drama, so that's what I'm going to go with in this. Yeah. So I liked watching her grief afterwards. I liked the like interning aspect as well, that she was like at his company. I liked Dylan. At the beginning, I kind of liked Dylan being thrown in the mix. By the end, I was like, Dylan, go away. Like, stop. When he's like, I'm still waiting for you. I was like, why? You went on one date with her, and this is months later. Like, literally just leave her alone.
Yeah.
Even Theo isn't still hung up on her at this point, and he was with her for like years. So get a grip.
Yeah, exactly.
But there were a lot of parts that I liked about it. And I liked his like restraint and how he tried to like hold himself back, but then eventually was like, I can't keep doing that, and kind of gave in.
So. What about the aunt? Like her whole thing?
Garbage. Once again, get a grip. This man has ignored you for years. Years.
Yeah, so desperate, very desperate. And I'm like, you are not cute. But she did like suffice as like angst when we needed it. That's why I did like Andrew, whatever her name is. I did like her going out on dates with that other guy, and like them, like their like office interactions that really like pissed Atlas off. That like it was just the angst was there too. And then like him fighting at the same time and then being like, crawl to me. I'm like,
I know. And then I was trying to figure out the layout of the office. I was like, do him and Dylan share a wall? Because then when he's like banging her up against the window, I was like, can he hear that?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I think that like obviously and she's like kind of a newer author, but kind of not. So I think you can, I mean, when I say like kind of, I think she has like 4 books before this one. So that's to me, like that's a newer author. I think that you can tell that she is still trying to like find her rhythm a little bit, I think, because it like in parts it did feel a little choppy, but it worked at the same time. I don't know.
Yeah.
I really liked the beginning.
I love the beginning, I think was my favorite.
Yeah.
Middle side, y'all just know how I feel about like a dragged out end, just knowing that they're gonna get together eventually. So I was kind of like, let's just kind of move this
Yeah.
all along. And then when he still gets to Greece and she's like, I don't know. I'm like, this man flew to Greece for you. Like, just stop it.
I know, and I'm like, "Oh, now you're gonna be the bigger person?
Yeah.
Now you're gonna say no?" Yeah,
No.
okay. And
Mhm.
then, like, I think, like, like, if I guess if I were to critique anything, like, where she randomly, like, flees the house and, like, runs to the graveyard, just,
Mm.
like, randomly just, like, breaks out and runs. That just seems so out of left field to me that I'm like, "Okay, we're gonna pick now. We're
Mhm.
gonna pick now to grieve and do that." Like, and then it's just like, whatever, I'm over it. I need to figure myself out. Like, it just felt like it didn't, like, flow into that. It was just
Yeah.
very random.
Can I tell you what my issue was with that scene in particular?
Oh god.
Was that so she takes off running, right? She's talking to the grandma and Theo
Mhm.
and Atlas are beating each other up.
Yeah.
So she takes off running, and then the grandma goes and tells Theo she's gone and it's raining and she has no jacket. But the grandma like sees her run off, so she's fully aware and she goes right, presumably right to Atlas. And Atlas is like, "What? Their graves are like just over like 2 miles." Like he says something about like 2 miles away. So he goes and immediately jumps in his car. And Theo's like, "I'm gonna run and check next door." And he's like, "Great, I'm gonna get in my car and go to the cemetery." So you know, she has to be a track star with how fast she must have ended up there to already be at the graves and then curled up in like borderline hypothermic before he arrives driving a car and then picks her back up and he drives her back to the house just as Theo is coming back out from her house. So logistically,
You really thought that through. You really thought that through. I'm like, you knew every detail to where everybody was. I honestly did not think about it like that. I think I just, like, was like, "Dang, she's gone." Like, she didn't even think twice. Yeah, freaking track star.
She is, let me tell you, look at her go. So, no, I mean, I love it for the dramatics. I put all the logistics I suspend my disbelief for the drama of it all, which I enjoy,
Exactly.
but I just can't help but just point that out in fun, in good fun,
Yeah.
but it just
Yeah.
made me
Yeah.
think.
I know. I know. Let's see. Yeah. I kinda liked it. I mean,
Too.
I don't know.
Mhm.
Freak in the sheets and a gentleman in the streets.
Mhm.
Yeah. She
Yes,
was
it sucked.
very, very desperate and but
Desperate.
yeah. Mhm. It's almost like he just, like, the switch flipped and he was like, "Forget it." But I think that happens, like, in QB Tyler's books too. I think it's kind of similar to that.
Yeah. Yep, and I think similar to, like, how it either, like, works or it doesn't. There's not really, like, an in between with it, so
Yeah. Yeah. But I do like that they fought it for a long time. Well, he fought it for a long time because that is one of my issues in books like this when it's they get together too soon and then there's like the stakes aren't I don't know. I don't feel like anything is at stake that
yeah.
really would be a driving force between them.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. In fact, my friend, she read it too and she was like, I wanted them to get caught by the sun.
Mhm.
Like I wanted him to walk in and find them
Yeah.
because but, like but also, which you can agree with me or not, like, don't you think a lot of the times in books like this that doesn't happen? Like, they find
Mhm.
out some other way, not by, like, catching them.
Yeah.
It's by, like, an outside source or some other type of thing that happens, but it's never, like, walking in on them.
Yeah, that's why I really loved in The Worst Kept Secret in QB's last book, they do get caught by the sun, like, when they're in a
Mhm.
corner of a party, kinda, like,
Yeah,
making a little bit, ugh, and I was like, "That is what I wanted." Because yes, I don't like that then when it's, like, anticlimactic like that, like, I want a
yeah,
big blow up moment.
yeah, yeah, and especially, like, if it's at a good point in the book, like, I think, like I don't know, if it happens at, like, the 50% mark, I'm like, "Okay, they already know." So, we have a whole half of a book left to get through
Mhm.
before like to resolve this. I don't know. And then that's where they typically lose me, because I'm like, okay, the first 50% should have been drawn out a little more to where it felt like they really were trying to do everything they could to not get caught, and then they get caught. But like, this was, what percentage do you think they found out? Like maybe 80%?
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah.
It was a while. But then it still felt like there was a decent amount of aftermath for it, which sometimes then I don't like when it's so close to the end, and then it almost feels like it's over and done with within like a chapter or two, which I don't like that either, where at least this kind of felt like the consequences were real and they took them seriously and, you know, whatever.
Yeah. I do like that she went and did something for herself instead of it was just being like, I don't know, like they were talking on and off. Like, I like that they didn't talk.
Yeah. Agreed. I think that was back with the running to the graves part.
See, I don't remember, like, when reading, when did I read this? In October, like the end of October. I literally do not remember feeling like anything like this, except like now dissecting it and thinking more into it, which I don't know, maybe it was just like what I needed at the time.
Yeah. And like, books don't have to be perfect for you to enjoy them and like for them to be 5-star reads. Like, if every single book that I rated 5 stars was like put up for like literary critique, I don't think many of them would actually do it well. It's just about the feeling of them. So I'm glad that you like enjoyed this while you were reading it.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. 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 He really did not bother me that much. I was kind of like almost at times like, you're like, you actually care about her.
Yeah.
It seemed like.
Yeah. I liked him too. I was very quick to forget that he cheated on her.
I know. I was kind of like, hey, what about a little second chance here?
I know. I like wouldn't have been mad at that, honestly. Or like if they couldn't have gotten back together. That would have been too much to like then like reunite Atlas and her again at the end, but I liked them together.
Yeah. You know, the aunt just, she's unfortunate. I honestly, her part was just to be this like cock block. I mean, not anything special.
That is such a fucking insult. She's unfortunate. That's like worse than being like she's a bitch or like she's unfortunate. If someone ever called me unfortunate,
okay, you tell me, what purpose did she serve?
nothing.
Nothing other than like desperation. I mean, that's it. And I think that's the perfect word. I'm like, how many times does this man have to tell you no? The man practically ran out of a restaurant because he didn't want to have a conversation with you.
Yeah.
I mean, he picks you up for a date and he's staring at your niece behind you.
And then also the fact that her grandparents and her aunt both like just dipped out so quickly after her parents died. Like, I don't really feel like then any of them can be mad at her and Atlas for getting together, honestly. Because it's like you literally just kind of were like, oh, sorry, your parents are dead. We're going to give you space. When she's 18, like her parents just died. Like, she doesn't need space. She needed support. And they all just were kind of like, okay, we'll see what Thanksgiving.
Yeah. And did you get from their reaction, like, did it feel like they were mad or that they weren't mad about them being together? Because I felt very neutral. Yeah.
The grandpa, absolutely not. The grandma, like, kind of, but I feel like she more like was just like, I'm disappointed in you, but like come tomorrow morning, we're all gonna sit around the breakfast table and be fine. It was truly more like Alyssa and Theo, which like Alyssa, you have no right to be mad. Theo was really the only one I feel like who had any right to be angry.
Yeah, it seemed like almost like they saw it coming, which I don't even know how because they weren't around. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the point where you like when you sit back, you know, days later and you actually like think about the quality of the book, you're like, okay, was it the best quality? No, but it doesn't hinder enjoyment at all. And I like you said, I think that it would take the fun out of reading if, you know, every book we read was judged like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I would love.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't get much of them, but I actually liked Theo towards the end. I was like, this dude's a good one.
I'd love like a rock star romance of him going on the road with his band or something.
Yeah. We are in our rock star romance era.
We are.
Like Marie.
Forever and always. At least for the next like year and a half still.
Bring it on, baby.
Yup.
Okay, so you want to share the book for December since it's going to be the last SMUT club because he's an author and I'm sad.
Yeah, sad.
We've been doing this a year and a half.
I know. It's been a long time. I'm gonna look back through all of our picks then for our final show for next time for us to like revisit them all. Because we've had some hits and we've had some misses.
Most misses.
Yeah. We're like not great at picking books for this.
No, we're not, because we try to try like new things and it doesn't work out.
Yeah. But fingers crossed for this one. It's a holiday novella, but y'all, it's not going to be anything cutesy, I don't think. It's called Keep You Both by Katelyn Nolan. It's MFF. And it's between a couple getting married and their wedding planner. They're all friends and they go to visit a wedding venue and then they get like snowed in over New Year's Eve together at this like wedding venue place.
Yeah. I don't do holiday romances and this sounds bomb.
The cover is like fun. It gives very New Year's Eve vibes.
Yeah.
So,
and that'll be perfect because like our live show will be after Christmas.
Yeah.
So perfect. Perfect.
And it only has 98 ratings. So that's kind of fun.
How many pages is it?
152. Like perfect length of a novella. Perfect. Long enough to have enough like plot and substance, but short enough to not drag on for like
quick. Yep. Yeah.
So yeah, and we'll pick a date and we'll announce it whenever, but it'll obviously be after Christmas, so in one of those days after. So
good. I'm excited. Okay, well, I think like, do you think this is a fun book to read?
Yeah, I liked this one. I liked it a lot. Like it'll be one like now in my wrap ups, like I'm only talking about books that I like and would recommend, and like I'm for sure including this one because I would definitely recommend it. I mean, it's not personally like a new favorite, but I did really enjoy it.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So, and you've read more by her, haven't you? Or did you start another one by her?
Yeah, in October I read, she has like a football series. But like I thought that they're all standalones, but I thought it was like from like the same football team, but it's like I think it is, but like they're not all friends. So you don't see any of the other characters, which is very unusual in like series like that. The first one from her, that was like a love triangle.
Oh yeah.
And then I just read the second one and actually DNF'd it because it was just very like cliche and cheesy and a lot of like corny. Like the hero is really golden retriever, cinnamon roll hero, but like has no flaws. And I'm like, oh, you're just like pulling out too many stops and doing too many nice things. And like there has to be something wrong with you.
Yeah.
You know?
That's what I was worried about with Ryan Shea. I was like, if this man, like, he needs to like do something, and then like he would sometimes like act a little like, what are you doing? And I appreciate that. You need that to balance.
Yeah. Did you like it? Did you like? Oh yeah, you did like.
Right. 5 stars.
I know.
Loved that. Loved it.
What do you think it's going to be like a top read of the year?
Potentially. I was actually kind of going through my list of just like looking through, and I think I have like 13 that I've kind of pulled out that I just have to like narrow down. So I think potentially it could.
Honorable mention.
Yeah, at least an honorable mention if it doesn't get on top 10. Yeah. Do you kind of have your top 10 picked out?
Oh, you know when you like think you know what you like from the beginning of the year, I was like, oh, I already know what my number one is, and I think you know. But the more that I'm like, there's this one book too, like along with that I'm still thinking about so much, which I'm like really surprised because I think after I read it, I loved it, but it wasn't one of the ones that I'm like, I'm going to keep thinking about this book. I'm like,
Mhm.
does that mean that I liked it a lot more than like, I gave it 5 stars, but I don't know. I don't know. I just need to sit down and write them all out because I think I had a lot
Yeah.
of like,
Certain books grow on you like that. Like that you read them and you're like, I love that 5 stars, but then they like sit with you. And
mhm,
that's how Garen Park was for me. Like I read it
yeah.
and loved it. And I was like, this is definitely going to be in like top 10. But now like that literally might be the top book of my year.
I
Like
was
the
gonna say, I've heard you've literally been talking about that book for
good,
months. So
so good.
yeah, I need to read that.
Yeah. I hope you
I
like
do.
it. And if you don't, just don't let me know.
Mhm. Like
But
people not liking Wolf Hotel. I'm so sad.
yeah, are you so excited? The countdown is on. Like, what is that? Like 2 weeks away for the new one?
Yeah, it's on the 14th. I'm dedicating my entire day to that.
Yeah.
My entire
Y-
day.
Is there a blurb out? Like, do you really know what it's about, or is it just
No, and she's not doing arcs or anything. She's literally just dropping it.
fun?
Yeah, so I'm like, especially because nobody knew that she would be doing this, and then I'm like, where's she gonna go with it? Because I mean, like in Surrender to Me, it kind of ends like not abruptly, but like he just proposes and
Mhm.
that's kind of it. So I guess I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. They better have a good ending though, because if this is the last book, it better be good.
Yeah, I bet it'll be good.
I wonder how many pages it'll be. Like I wonder if it'll be big or
I think what those are all pretty short books. What
yeah.
are they? Are they even 300 pages?
I think
Or maybe just about 300.
I think Teach Me is like, isn't that one the longest?
Yeah, I don't know. They all look about the same. Surrender to Me is maybe a little smaller than the rest of them, but they all look pretty similar. Huh.
Yeah.
So very exciting.
Yeah.
Are you reading anything good right now?
No. I started this book called The Moon and Back by Ginger Scott. And it's
Oh
like
yeah.
it's kind of like I guess it's rock star. I don't know if it's rock star, but like they both have this interest in music and he um like ends up making it big and kind of like leaves her and it's like years and years down the road and he's trying to win her back, but I think he's like doing some toxic shit with his life, like in really deep trouble or like just like not doing great and
Mhm.
like makes this big statement that's like obnoxious and he's just like causing a scene on himself to get her attention. And I like one of the first things in the first paragraph, she's like, it's nobody else's job to handle him, but it's mine. So I'm kind of like, I don't know what's happening, but
Yeah.
it's good so far. I'm not far enough in to know if I like it or not, but
Okay.
yeah.
Hmm. Well, good. Hopefully, it ends up being a good one, or at least a solid enough one.
Are you gonna start the Nordica Night book, or did you already start it?
Already started it. I think I'm like 20% in. I wasn't able to read a ton earlier, but I'm already liking it. I just loved those two characters a lot
Mhm.
from the first one. I mean, it's definitely not as like angsty. I feel like I mean, it still kind of is, but it's not. There's not as much like tension between the two of them because they obviously are like best friends. So it's like that to lovers, where Garen Park, those two like hated each other, so they
Mhm.
were like beating each other up for the first like
Yeah.
50% of the book. So, but I'm really liking it. So yeah, we'll see.
Hmm. Good.
Just, yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's pretty much it. So, Keep You Both by Catherine Nolan for December. We'll announce the live show dates and all of that sometime after Christmas. But um, you have videos coming soon. I have videos coming soon. If we don't see anybody, hope you have a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, all of the things.
Yeah.
Thanks for reading with us and chilling and hanging out.
Yeah.
And I think that's it, right?
Yeah. That's about it. You covered it.
Yeah. All right. Well, we will see you next time, guys.
Bye.